Welcome to Cheap Shot Cinema. This is episode... Mike, last time you got it wrong.
I got it wrong.
I'm pretty sure this is episode 5 because you said that it was 3 last time when it was actually 4.
You know what?
And I'm pretty sure this one's 5 then, if I'm mathing correctly.
It is 5. If
It
I'm
is
looking at this
episode
correctly. Yep.
5. Welcome, everyone.
man.
Rings.
Ben is just implementing himself very
I'm
nicely
Mike.
there.
I'm Ben.
And again, I'm Zach, if there was confusion. I'm the loud one. So, what are we talking about today, guys? Oh, I'm going to talk about what we're going to talk about before we start talking about
That sounds like a great idea to talk about.
Oh my gosh.
You should talk about that.
So, Civil War just came out
What?
this last Thursday.
I disagree.
Unless you live in another country, which it came out for like a week ahead of America.
Oh, everybody got to see it
But
before
I
us.
guess he's
Yeah.
not Captain America. I guess he's like Captain Japan or something like that because you got to see him early. This is America,
was
guys.
weird.
Captain
weird, man.
International.
Yeah.
Captain England.
Captain
There
Japan.
isn't there a Captain like Canada?
There's
or
a Captain.
Mr.?
There's a
There-
Captain everything.
There's Captain Britain.
there is in
Okay.
Italy.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not bitter.
I'd totally see a Captain Japan movie. That'd be cool.
Captain
Yeah,
Japan.
let's do
Does
it.
he fight Godzilla?
Well, that's just...
Fights with Godzilla.
Ooh,
Godzilla's a good guy.
fight.
That's like
they're
asking if
fighting
Captain America
Mechagodzilla?
fought King Kong.
They'd fight together.
I'm pretty sure they're making a movie where Godzilla fights King Kong. So what?
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm excited to
The
see that.
size difference, though.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe
King
Kong
Kong's-
gets into a mech suit.
He's
Wait,
nimble.
no.
He's
Maybe
nimble.
they
Kong is
nuke
controlling
Kong.
mech Godzilla.
And
No.
it doesn't kill him,
Oh,
but the
man.
nuclear stuff
makes him stronger,
makes him bigger
bigger.
because that's what happened in Godzilla
Or
2000.
a shrink ray, and
See, tiny
Godzilla gets
doesn't work.
smaller.
He gets Ant-Man
If
technology.
he's half the size, it will be doable because then he can be nimble and like still take him down. But like,
Wait.
yeah.
Now I have a question though.
Yeah.
So in Godzilla 2000, they
Oh, the Matthew Broderick one?
the Matthew Broderick one with
Classic cinema.
all the voice actors from The
Yeah,
Simpsons.
Hank
were in it.
Azaria was amazing.
And another guy from The Simpsons is in it.
Yeah, that other guy, yeah.
Yeah. He's the newscaster. I can't remember his name though.
Oh,
Of
Anyways,
course.
in that movie, it was from the atomic blast that created it. Well, how did the original Godzilla
I
get so
don't
big?
remember.
Anybody know?
I don't remember.
Email us.
All I remember
Japanese
is that...
Say it on
technology.
Facebook.
No, all I remember is that by the time that the little Godzillas hatched, they were the size of humans, weren't they? They were like velociraptors already. So,
Yeah, in Godzilla 2000.
so they're already big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was after they got...
Who cares?
Okay, after that 2-minute misdirection, we're going to go into news in a second, but because Civil War came out, which then I went on a rant that led to another rant, we're going to talk a lot about superheroes today. It's all going to be around superheroes, a lot of talk about Captain America and Marvel, but we'll probably expand a little bit from there. And so that being said, Mike's going to go into the news.
Yeah, speaking of Civil War, I have some great news for you if you're a Disney stockholder. Surprise, everybody. Captain America Civil War already surpassed Captain America Winter Soldier's worldwide earnings. So if you guys remember,
Crazy.
Captain America Winter Soldier got $714 million total worldwide. Yeah, Captain America Civil War is already at $737 million worldwide.
a lot
That's
of money.
amazing. And it was also the 5th biggest North American debut ever. I can't remember how much it made, but it was in the 180s, I think.
Made a lot.
Something like that.
It's a lot of
It's only
money.
behind Force Awakens, Jurassic Park, Avengers, and Age of Ultron. So that's
Jurassic World.
awesome. Yeah, Jurassic World. Didn't I say that?
You said
Jurassic
Park.
Park. Well, obviously that's not the right answer. And also,
Good movie.
yeah, for Disney people, Disney's already gotten over $1 billion domestically so far this year, just in North America.
Good thing I got
That's
tons of
amazing.
Disney stock.
Yeah.
Let's
well,
all
I didn't
go
see
work for
Zootopia
Disney.
yet, so
Oh.
you know.
Wow.
Fix that.
That's my
Dude.
fault.
Fix
Yeah,
that.
I've heard it's great.
Zootopia is great. Question, Ben.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm asking you specifically. Why is there only mammals in Zootopia? Did you
You're
notice
asking him
that?
specifically because I haven't seen it.
Did you? I
That's a
noticed that
good
like halfway through the movie.
Because they're
Weren't there
more
reptiles?
enjoyable
No.
to animate.
There's
No
no
crocodiles?
reptiles or there's no birds.
Why aren't there crocodiles, man?
I don't. I'm trying to think. Like,
Well, because
I'm
there was a
pretty
point
sure.
of the movie, it might have been hard to try to. No, I guess other animals can be feral if they're reptilians. You just don't really think about it that way. there's that whole debate of like some animals are feral and some aren't. You don't really think of like, oh, that alligator's feral. Like, he's an
Spoiler
alligator.
alert, I haven't seen this movie yet.
It's not really a spoiler alert.
Now I know there's no crocodiles.
Oh,
Dang,
dang it.
I need to see some penguins in now.
Maybe
no-
they're saving them all for the sequel.
Yeah.
Zootopia 2, now with reptiles.
Now with birds.
And-
the birds part.
And birds.
I
yeah.
guess Madagascar did penguins a lot, so that makes sense if they wanted to shy away from penguins at least. And those are birds.
Yeah.
True. And there was Chicken Run, if we're naming
Man.
That's true.
bird films.
Yeah.
And Valiant.
And they just made
And
Godzilla.
planes.
Godzilla's a
And
reptile,
Angry
right?
Birds.
And
Did you
there
say
we
Oh
go.
that?
man, seriously.
Nah.
There's pigs in that one too.
Yeah, it's true. They
They're
are
green
mammals.
because that's
Pigs
what
are mammals,
color
man.
pigs are apparently.
Pigs are mammals.
I am terribly sorry. This is my fault. I keep doing this.
Idris Elba just has to be in every single voice acting role ever. And I'm fine with that because he's a great voice actor. In addition to being an amazing man and a great actor.
and
Probably
man.
a great,
He's not attractive
he's
at
probably
all.
a great friend.
Probably.
Is he married with kids?
Well, he also had the best movie name ever in Pacific Rim. What is it? Stacker Pentecost?
Yes.
BA name if you ever heard one. It's amazing. This is such a cool name. And his office is in the Shatter Dome. Come on. Seriously. Anyways, moving on. So we have news just a couple days ago.
News.
Yeah, news on par with the James Bond viewing of what was the guy's name?
Daniel
James Bond.
Craig.
Daniel
There you
Craig.
go.
Yeah, there you go. He was
cameos.
Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper in Star Wars Episode 7. Guess who's going to be a stormtrooper in Star Wars Episode 8?
You
Tom
told me
Hardy.
this.
Tom Hardy.
Do I really have to guess? Because we talked about this earlier.
It's going to be according to reports, it's going to be a small cameo role where he like recognizes Finn or something like that, but then doesn't
Traitor!
realize he's a traitor. So he doesn't yell traitor. Apparently, he might yell traitor later.
Trader later.
But I mean, that
Joe's.
seems to be the one word that they love yelling. It's just like traitor.
Traitor.
It's just like now we have imperial policies in place. If you see a traitor, you need to yell at them. You need to
You need to let everyone else know
Exactly.
immediately.
you need to label that. Label that.
You should.
Oh,
right.
That's. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on that though? I mean, it's cool. Yeah, and I love that Daniel
man,
Craig
that's
was
cool.
in the first one, but
I wish they wouldn't have. It's fun to sort of discover it for yourself
Yeah.
and find out later.
It's true. I think I'm on the same boat as
Yeah.
far as that's concerned. They don't need to.
I think
I heard Tom Hardy in Star Wars like, holy crap, I gotta get to my computer, and then to realize it was just a stormtrooper cameo. Nah.
I think Star Wars is going to continue with what they've pretty much always done and cast fairly unknown actors and actresses.
In main roles.
In
I
the
just
main
hope
roles.
Lando's
that.
back
Yeah.
for Episode 8. Lando would be great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Billy D. Williams,
Billy
ladies and
D.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Billy
he
D.
could
Get
be.
him in there.
But I mean,
a
think
great
about
character.
it. Is there and even Ian McGregor wasn't super well known when they cast him as Obi-Wan. What's his name?
I suppose so.
They-
Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson
Jake
would have
Lloyd.
definitely been probably one of the biggest actors they've ever
Yeah,
casted.
because he's
as
already
in-
had
he had
Schindler's
tons,
List
he,
and a
yeah,
couple
he
things.
had tons
Yeah.
of stuff
Okay.
going on.
Natalie Portman was also very unknown too at that point.
For the most
Plus, she
part,
was like 16.
she was in the
Yeah.
professional, but I mean, she was very,
exactly.
she
Nobody
was
knew who
still-
she was.
Yeah.
Come on, that was movie nerds will know what that movie is.
The general populace was not aware.
General
Of her.
populace.
It's true.
A lot of people weren't familiar with her previous works up until then.
But yeah, I mean, that was my point, though.
Oh, moving on.
Moving on. We have a bad guy for
Oh my.
Justice League Part 1, and it's Steppenwolf, not the band,
Who?
the DC villain.
Sounds like a
Who's
decent-
who he has a couple iterations that make him look dumb, and he has a couple iterations that look kind of cool. Basically, he's some dude in like a horned mask, kind of like a Skyrim type thing.
Yes.
That's what I thought of when I saw
Skyrim.
him.
It looked like Diablo from
So
the Diablo series.
yeah, so
Diablo.
for those of you who've seen the little deleted scene that they released a couple days after BVS debuted, Batman vs Superman, was I hadn't said the name yet. We're talking DC here, people.
British versus
So
Scottish.
we had the small scene called Communion, and it was basically this one scene where Lex Luthor was basically talking to Steppenwolf on the Kryptonian ship. And it was really confusing. There were a bunch of mother boxes.
Yeah, because that movie wasn't confusing
Everybody
enough.
was like, who is that guy? And then people were like, apparently it's Steppenwolf. And then I did research. And now I know who Steppenwolf
Steppenwolf.
is when they released this. So I don't know if that was a good lead-in or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like, personally, I mean, I think we all are a little bit less well-known as far as DC villains are concerned. I don't think we have it all together. But I think that, especially if they're trying to catch up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it would have done them well to pick a bigger villain. I mean, they hardcore hinted at Darkseid being a baddie, and I'm assuming he's going to be in Justice League Part 2. But they could have grabbed Brainiac or even Lex Luthor or, you know, a couple other people that I'd actually heard of before instead of Steppenwolf, who I'd never heard of before. So your guys' thoughts about that at all? I just think they need to step it up. I don't think they can settle for a B-list person.
Stepping up.
We never did a review of Batman versus Superman.
No,
we
we
were
didn't.
talking about that, and we
Yeah.
never did it. So I'm just gonna give a really quick overview.
Popcorn.
Might as well.
Not my favorite, not the worst.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the idea that we have to be funny like Marvel to make a good movie. No, you have to not suck. Is what the key is to that.
True.
Is
That is a key, I've heard.
there are tons
success.
of action-oriented dramas that don't have even the slightest amount of humor in them. You just need not to be terrible. And when your story's convoluted and you have full scenes that feel like you could just take out and make no difference in the movie, and you don't build up certain characters and then other characters you focus heavily on, and then there's weird dream sequences inside of other weird dream sequences.
Yeah.
And
Did Flash actually visit him or no?
that's the thing. It would have made a lot
not
more
sure.
sense if he was actually awake
Yeah.
and not
That would've been
waking
cool.
up again. And sorry if we're spoiling anything, but I mean, you'll understand it when you see it.
Or you won't.
Or yeah, you won't.
Yeah, and why did
So-
he have a dream with all this extra information that he didn't know about before? Like, did he get hit with a vision or something? Is he magic?
Why did we see the teasers for the other characters
He might
at
be magic.
the climax of the movie instead of a half an hour earlier when we saw Bruce Wayne going through those same files?
It's true.
Why did we have another?
Because
you
they
know-
got to catch up to Marvel.
No, I'm just saying you could have done that scene earlier in the movie and it would have made more
yeah.
sense.
That's
at
fair.
that point in time.
I can see how it would take
and
you
it
out of
wouldn't
the
have
battle.
slowed down. And it's just like, and then you bring in one of the biggest villains in the DC universe and you end him
Yeah.
in like 15 minutes.
Is he dead? Is he?
Yeah, I mean, up to speculation, but
Well, I think they needed, just technically, I think they just needed one thing to get Wonder Woman to tip into the fight with Doomsday and realize what was going on. So maybe just realizing that there were other supers out there, that
Yeah.
might have tipped her over a little bit more.
in trying to make Lex
don't know.
Luthor into a Joker-esque type villain.
That's true. Was he Lex Luthor or his son? Because he mentions like, oh, Lex Luthor
it
was my
technically
father.
his son.
Yeah.
Okay, so it
so
wasn't
do they cast
Like actual Lex Luthor?
actual Lex
No,
Luthor?
I don't think so.
So what's the point of that though?
There is no point. It's just random.
Well, if that's true, that's another huge stupid.
yeah.
He was not. He did
Zack
not do well in that
Snyder
role.
is a great visionary in regards to the look of a movie.
Oh, yeah.
And photography,
Yes.
Without a
and
doubt, yeah.
cinematography.
Mhm. It's a great
but
movie to look
I
at.
don't know if he can tell a story, and I don't trust him with telling a story. I trust Ben Affleck with telling a story, and I think his standalone Batman movie will be very good.
Yeah.
But
I
I do
agree.
not trust Zack Snyder anymore.
Well, and I think they also said recently that Ben Affleck's going to have way more say. I don't know necessarily if he's going to get producing credit or what.
I think he's
but-
going to be a higher
okay.
level producer.
yeah, on Justice League. So that's cool.
I
Yeah.
think he put a lot of heart and soul into it, and I think he was legitimately very disappointed when the negative reviews started flowing.
I would be too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody goes back to that meme of him, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, I do think he was genuinely
Yeah. Fair enough.
disappointed.
So,
Yeah, we can continue.
Assassin's Creed trailer dropped today.
It did.
What did you guys think
it
about that?
snuck up on us.
Yeah, it
It
did.
did.
Well,
They released some pictures,
It was
and
supposed
they
to be
never really
yesterday.
said.
That's true.
Did they say it was going to be yesterday? No, I didn't
it was
hear
supposed
that.
to drop yesterday, and I was a little disappointed. But then I woke up this morning and I remembered that it was supposed to drop yesterday. I looked, and it had dropped today. So I was
There you
happy.
go.
I was happy.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good trailer. The music choice was kind of odd, but didn't detract from the experience. Yeah, it looks like they're following the heart of the games. Some people will be like, oh, it's not Desmond Miles and the Animus looks different, and that's totally okay. People need to understand when you're adapting something from one medium to another medium, you try to take the spirit of that, but you don't need to carbon copy every detail, because then you complain like, oh, we already saw this. You want to do something a little bit different, but still want to keep the heart of the movie. And from the trailer, at least, it looks like they're on the right track.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm excited,
especially that leap at the end. Oh man,
exactly.
I bet he's gonna
Is
fall
the
into a
eagle
hay
gonna
bale there.
screech when he does
If it doesn't, I want my money back.
Yep, eagle didn't screech. I'm done.
I'm telling you, he's gonna go straight into a bale of hay, and then he's gonna stab somebody and bring him into the bale of hay. That'd be great.
I hope so.
They should have a warning at the end of that movie too. By the way, kids, do not try that at home. You will die.
Honestly, the one thing I was kind of worried about with this movie was that they wouldn't have the Animus and Abstergo and that whole plot line attached to it. I was worried that they were just going to go straight up like, Spanish Inquisition days and
that
just
have
have
worried
an
you?
assassin. Yeah, I think it would, because I really like how they frame it in that outer story, and it's less ridiculous to be like, oh, we're going to have this fantastical adventure in this other time. I think that it's really cool that you can have that other layer of plot going at the same time. So I was really happy to hear that, and I think that they can do great stuff with it. So and Michael Fassbender's awesome, either in the Animus or outside the Animus, as far as I'm concerned.
True.
So let's do it.
Yeah, it kind of but it adds like a Matrix feel. Like,
it's true.
We're in this other world, but there's still something dangerous happening in the real world.
Yep, it's true.
So
I'm excited, but I have a little bit of a reservation on it. I'm definitely trying to keep myself a little bit in check in regards to this movie. I thought some of the shots were very beautiful shots, especially that last scene where they pan back.
Yes.
I mean, that's all green screen, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Everything's green screen.
Yeah, that's the
There
thing.
are no people in that shot. They just had the dude jumping. Yeah.
And there was nobody.
Just because.
No, and it looks cool. Like I said, I'm excited, but I have some reservations. I need to see a little bit more and see what happens. I mean, I loved the first game. The second game was even better, and then I just kind of got bored with the series, to be honest. I've played a good chunk of Black Flag. I've played a good chunk of 3. I've played a good chunk of
It's fun.
Gotta love being a pirate.
Yar.
The one where you can like you're an assassin, but you have multiple assassin friends. It's the one
Unity?
that came after
Unity.
2. No.
Oh, Brotherhood.
Brotherhood. Yeah, I have Unity though.
What is it the current one Unity? Or which one is
Syndicate?
Syndicate. Okay, gotcha. I lost track of them, so yeah.
You took a year off too.
And they have a really good cast. I mean, Michael Fassbender, Marion Cotillard, Jeremy Irons,
didn't see him in there.
Gleason guy. What's his name?
Donald?
No, not Domhnall. His dad, Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan?
Yeah, he's in it too. So
Pretty sure it's just Donald.
Donald? What? Donald?
Just Donald.
What? I think
don't-
it's spelled Domhnall. So
Yeah, but he doesn't pronounce the H.
Donald Gleason.
He said in an interview the H is there to confuse Americans.
So hello, Domhnall Gleason. How you doing today?
No.
D. Gleason.
Moving on. All right. So we also have just recently fans have been putting their suggestions out there as far as what should be in the next X-Men movie, since we have X-Men Apocalypse coming out pretty soon here. And they're saying, some people are saying that they want Deadpool to make at least a cameo appearance in the next X-Men movie. What would you guys think about that? Cameo
If
or
you
full?
kept it to a cameo, I'm fine with it.
Really?
Like a few minutes here or a few minutes, here and there.
Yeah.
Just a little tidbits or something like that. I'd be okay with it then. But I think you take away from his movies if you put him into a PG-13 movie and he's not fully Deadpool.
True.
And he's not fully over the top, ridiculous, swearing, literally blowing people's heads off Deadpool. So yeah, I think that really retracts from his character if you force him into a PG-13 role. So
And I think it subtracts from that universe as well, because the X-Men movies and Deadpool movies have very different feels. So if you're trying to make it wacky, weird, all of a sudden for no reason, I think something like the Wolverine cameo in First Class. They come in there, They're doing their thing, and then Wolverine tells them to F off.
Mhm.
Perfect.
That was awesome.
Awesome.
Yep.
Like, if they did a Deadpool cameo, something along those lines. It's like, you're here because they're in the same universe, obviously.
Yep.
But nothing like Zach was
Well,
saying, where it's a super long.
But
like
are we gonna
Spider-Man-esque.
are we gonna follow this same timeline though? Because Deadpool's
Yeah.
more present day.
Yeah, because
Whereas we're in the 80s right now.
no, they're saying that's fair because
I
they're
suppose
saying,
so for New Mutants.
they're saying that the next X-Men movie is going to be taking place in 91, I think, or the 90s in general. So some point
Because
in there.
Apocalypse
So that's
is
a good point.
very
yeah.
obviously taking place in the 80s.
Well, then
Right.
that
Yeah.
basically neutralizes what we're talking about because I'm almost
just-
100% sure that Deadpool is supposed to take in present day.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
So it'd be Wade Wilson then.
Yeah. Yeah.
not-
just based
not
off of the
Deadpool.
cars and everything like that. That's cool. Yeah, Wade Wilson wouldn't be as
well,
interesting. Or
and
would
I mean,
he be?
in the original Wolverine, he was he?
We don't talk about that movie.
Well, yeah, but my question was before he was actually turned into the Deadpool or whatever they called him.
Right.
The
Did-
Deadpool.
I mean, yeah, he was really good, but was he a mutant? Did he have?
No.
Because I mean, he obviously had enhanced speed and cognition because he was able to cut a bullet in half with his katana.
Oh, so you're talking about in X-Men Wolverine.
Right.
Wolverine, if he was a mutant at that point in time, because that entire group was mutants.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
He-
by definition, I think that one was a mutant, but it might have just been people with enhanced skills.
Right. Yeah. I'm not entirely
I
sure.
mean,
from
there's
origins.
people today that could cut a bullet in half with a sword because they're just awesome. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they could do it with that precision, but hey,
anyways, I was just thinking.
man, you
So-
went deep with that. That was a
Yeah,
deep cut.
So,
That was a deep cut.
No, I think the point of the timelines aren't going to match up is kind of a big faltering thing there. Yeah.
Fair enough.
you'd just be like a young mercenary then if you'd appear at that time. Like
Yeah.
A young.
And wouldn't have,
Young.
Beating
white
people
young.
up. Yep.
True. But he was still a wisecracker then before he
Yeah.
became Deadpool.
I hadn't even thought about
That
the
would be
timeline, though.
interesting
That was a
if
good
he
call.
just kind of like comes across them at one point in time
Yeah.
as
He just walks by in the background. Or who knows? If he hooks up with Cable, he might be a time traveler later on, and he could just like walk through and wave at the camera or something like that. That'd be super. I would laugh my butt off if he did that. If there was a funny cameo like that. But I don't know if for the sake of the rest of the movie, if I would appreciate it. So
Yeah.
they have a very serious tone in the X-Men movies
other
for
than
the most part.
other than Quicksilver telling Mystique that Magneto's his dad. No, they're my parents. Yeah, I get it.
Well, there's humor in X-Men, but overall it's more
Yeah,
serious.
it's more serious.
All right. And final news story, sort of news. Recently, one fan in particular has been photoshopping actor John Cho's picture into random movie trailer posters. And it's basically a commentary on what's going on with Hollywood and what people are calling, whitewashing of different characters, different roles in movies. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? You guys want to?
Off the top of your head, what's
Yeah.
the biggest, like, not even a doubt, like, ridiculous whitewashing?
Probably the Emma Stone one.
Yeah,
that
where
I
she
heard
was
about
supposed
from
to be
Ola.
like a Hawaiian Japanese girl or
Aloha,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah, get like the whitest girl in Hollywood
Or
to do it.
or Ghost in a Shell. I mean, with
Scarlett.
Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
I heard the Japanese people weren't even like upset about that.
Yeah.
Though. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we would have cast her as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we totally.
Because even in, but anyway, yeah, the Emma Stone one's probably the biggest one
Yeah.
in recent memory.
trying to think of other ones.
Well, I mean, the
It was
one that I
definitely,
mentioned.
think, a lot worse. And
The one that I mentioned was Tilda Swinton's casting as the Ancient One in the upcoming Doctor Strange movie. And Disney and Marvel basically came out afterwards and said something like, hey, the character is actually like, is a stereotype of Asian man, so they kind of wanted to get away from that. But also they're saying that, the character is from Tibet and China are having issues, nationally right now. And they didn't want to offend anybody in the Chinese box office, maybe. And so that's kind of the theory as far as them trying to get away from that entire thing in general.
yeah. Since when?
So
By the way, when have China and Tibet not been having issues?
I don't know.
Since like forever.
Yeah.
We're not going to get political.
Right. And I think
our
in that
primarily
scenario-
humor-based entertainment show.
In that scenario, like if you're not trying to tell people this is supposed to be a Japanese woman,
Right.
Like she's just she's been in Tibet because she traveled there long ago
Right.
and she stayed.
Yeah.
That's whatever. You recast the character, fine. But if you're trying to say, hey, this white person is meant to play this,
Yeah.
other non-white person, who's
So,
like,
I
whatever.
guess my biggest commentary on this would be is are we actively holding down other races in regards to getting these higher up roles, or is that just not something, or is there not as many good actors and actresses out there of different races?
Well, that's
Maybe
not
it's
the case.
completely
so-
ignorant of me, but I don't think that's completely not the case, though. I mean, there could be complete ignorance on my end, but yeah. So I think there can be at least some aspect of. I do think there's probably tons of we're just not casting them, but at the same time, I think there's certain areas of people that you're just not gonna find up to par in regards to like how many Tibetan actors are there out there, for instance.
That's fair, and I do know that I understand that there is a business aspect of all of this, and Hollywood, if they see a big star like say Scarlett Johansson, to throw her in an action movie where she would probably be able to do the role really well, that makes sense. I mean, if it's not the same ethnicity or the same appearance at all, as opposed to what you thought the character would be in, say, a book or something like that, then fans are going to have an issue with it always. And then I mentioned Tilda Swinton being cast, but then also, on the flip side, in the same movie, Chiwetel Ejiofor is playing Baron Mordo, who was traditionally I think he was just a random white dude. So, there's flips, and, they just make different casting decisions based on the talent that they have available.
Yeah.
But that is the question is, are we overlooking people who could play this role just because we're trying to get someone who is going to bring us box office money?
Well,
And then I can understand why they would make that decision as a company, but I would be disappointed as a film fan, to be like, hey, you could have made this more, a better depiction of the actual source material than you would have with this other person who could have played the role just as well. So
Right.
if that's not happening, then I have an issue with that, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. And to Zach's point, I personally don't think there's a lack of talent in people all over the world. I mean, every country has cinema. They all have talented actors and actresses.
Oh, yeah.
If you really wanted to get someone of a certain ethnicity for a certain role, it could be done. But yeah, again, there's star power. There's who's available. There's just strictly who do we know. Like maybe there's someone really talented, and they just don't know they exist.
Yeah.
Like, you can't know everybody in the world. But to say, like, regarding the John Cho thing specifically,
Yeah.
what you hear a lot are some directors have said, like, oh, we would have cast an Asian or whatever if one of those existed. Like, that was talented.
Right.
So I think in regards to what they're trying to point out is there's been recorded sayings of people,
Yeah.
talking about, well, we'd cast this region or race person, whatever, if they existed, but they just don't.
Right.
I'm like,
That's probably not true.
You're
Yeah.
probably not looking.
How hard did you try?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Did you just want Benedict Cumberbatch in that role? Let's be honest.
Doctor
yeah.
Strange is a white
No,
person.
I know. I'm
right,
not,
but yeah,
I'm
so
not mentioning anything specifically.
A mix of
I'd want
finding the
Benedict
person-
Cumberbatch in my movie.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Please.
And ignoring. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it.
yeah, and I guess I'm going to recant a little bit, and I
You'd
just
better. Recant sounds so
I'm
religious.
sorry. I'm sorry. Anyways, but yeah, it would not surprise me in the least if even it was like an active conspiracy of like we're not letting Mexicans into the,
Wow. I'd be really disappointed if that was the case.
Build that
I'm
Hollywood
just-
wall.
I don't know. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
You never know
That's all I'm
about
saying.
Certain people.
But when just going to the idea of a Tibetan actor in this instance, do you guys think it's any better? So let's say you got a Chinese actor to play that role. do you think that's any better than getting a white person to play that role? Because here in Western society, 90% of us would have no idea, I think. But, but we'd still look at that and go, okay, that makes sense.
The problem, I don't care necessarily who's cast for a role.
Yeah.
It's when you're saying someone is a certain ethnicity and the person you cast is blatantly not that ethnicity.
Yeah.
So like also, whatever, if Captain America, they're like, oh, in our depiction that we're making, he's going to be Mexican. And they cast a Mexican guy. Sure, it doesn't line up with the source material, and that's not a smart move.
Yeah.
But if they're saying Chris Evans is like a straight up Mexican guy and they're casting him in some role,
Right, that's
you're like,
fair.
well, you're clearly not Mexican, Chris Evans. You could have hired someone who's Mexican to
fair.
play Captain
That's fair.
Mexico.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
think that's the issue.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, have they talked about though?
Chris
Have
Evans
they,
is not Mexican. Yes.
that's
Right.
I mean,
well, I'm
that's,
just saying that example. Like, oh, this person's this. Like, no, they're not. You
Yeah.
could have cast someone who was.
Exactly.
I'm just wondering if I'm okay. Japanese made movie, Chinese person in that movie, they're saying they're Japanese. Most Americans wouldn't catch on to that, most likely. Do the Chinese and Japanese people still have, I'm assuming they would have a big issue with that, even though us in the Western culture probably wouldn't even notice. I'm not like debating with your argument. I'm just saying I think it's also very dependent on
So you're
on
basically
who
saying
you're talking to.
You're basically saying that they could have cast. They didn't necessarily have to cast somebody from Tibet to play this specific role in Doctor Strange, right?
All I'm saying is I think it's a little bit of perspective.
Yeah.
Here
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
because yeah,
And I get what you're saying too. Like, you can't say, oh, sorry. It's kind of like the guy who plays Hugh Laurie plays in House. He plays an American doctor, right?
Yeah.
But he's not American.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think to an extent, if you can look the part,
Yeah.
and like get away with it, and you're depicting something.
It does make me wonder. Like, I'm not defending whitewashing at all. I want to make that clear. I'm not defending whitewashing. I just wonder if that happens. Now I'm just wondering if that happens in like the Asian countries where like we have tons of British actors come over here and play Americans. It happens constantly.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in America cares.
No.
So I wonder if that's just not a big deal
It just
in like
depends.
Asian countries, or if that's a little more of a tender subject.
Yes.
I don't know. That'd just be interesting for me to find out.
That's true. And I think to this article, too, what they were saying, it was also pointing out that you don't see a lot of male or Asian leads in movies.
Yeah.
Because they're
that's
saying,
fair.
again, there's no one that could play, like, there's no Asian actor has high enough acting caliber to be cast in any of these movies.
Right.
Well,
So I think that's another
it's
thing
just
they're
like
bringing
you.
attention
It's
to,
because
so,
you
but-
don't make them that. It's not like Benedict didn't become Benedict because he was a great. I'm guaranteed there's tons of great actors out there that never get up, never make it big.
Oh, yeah.
So
absolutely.
like I said, recanting kind of on what I initially said.
recanting the recant.
And just on the record, I would love to see John Cho in more movies. I like that guy. He's cool. He's a good actor.
It's cool.
All right. So that's the news right there. That's the news.
Good news.
Good news, everybody.
You gotta stick it in there somewhere.
Sorry, I did stick it in there.
What's next?
No, we're just gonna sit on that for a while. It's just gonna be.
I'm sorry.
What is next?
I recant. We have
Oh
the
my
game
gosh.
probably.
Yeah, we're going into a game after that very serious topic about whitewashing.
I'm sorry.
I feel like if anybody listened to this show, I would get hate email for
Why?
what I initially said. I don't know. Like,
But you recanted it.
yeah,
What about Steppenwolf?
Or did
Thanks,
He's
Frank.
not
How dare you
a
not
German
know who
DJ?
Steppenwolf is? It's that one band.
Feet Skrillex.
All
and
right.
Dead Mouse
So we're gonna play a new game
The
today.
new Batman versus Superman villain, Skrillex.
Dead Mouse.
yeah, bro. Well, it's like they had
Jamie Foxx and
well, they had,
Spider-Man
yeah,
2.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Spider-Man 2, Electro. Yeah, he
It's
was
like-
playing dubstep music when
It's
he
like in
was
Scott
using his
Pilgrim
powers.
versus the World when they have the huge speakers
That
and
was
the like the
awesome.
gorilla
Oh, yeah.
fights the dragons.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's have more Scott Pilgrim movies.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
They kind of covered it though.
Man,
Anyways,
they could.
we're gonna go into a game where
Are we?
Yeah. So this one's actually scored again. So keep track of your scores because I don't want to.
Win.
So I'm going to pick a movie, and then I'm going to pick another movie.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you both those movies.
Go on.
And you guys got to guess which one had more or had a higher domestic gross.
Okay. For box
Domestic
office. Gotcha.
gross.
Total.
Box office.
Domestically gross.
Total. All right.
Okay.
In its lifetime in the theater.
Okay.
Wow, this
First
is gonna be
two.
hard.
Mad Max Fury Road and Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh.
Or Live, Die, Repeat.
Ben, you get to go first.
Or Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat.
Which
It's
one
Edge of
had a
Tomorrow.
higher domestic?
Which had a higher domestic, both underrated movies and
Yeah.
did not live
Seriously.
up to their box office potential.
Oh, I
in
know
my
that about
You
Mad
can go
Max.
first. That's fine.
Unless
You
want
don't
me to
have
go
to guess the number. You just need to guess which one's higher.
Mad Max.
We guess which one's higher.
Yep.
Just for competition's sake, I'm gonna go Edge of Tomorrow then.
It was Mad Max by
that's what I
almost 50 million.
Oh,
Don't
good.
do that.
Mad Max.
Well, I was looking for a good point there. If you would have been wrong, I would have gotten a point and been ahead of him. Now I'm losing.
Mad Max had
Totally.
153.6 and Edge of Tomorrow had 100.2.
Man, they both should have made over 2 million.
Yeah,
200
both
million.
of them.
Those
Man.
were great movies.
In my
Both
humble opinion.
fantastic movies.
Oh, so good. All right. Ben's leading 1-0.
Alrighty
Keep track of your own
now.
score, even though I'm going to be keeping track of your score because I'm bitter already.
Exactly.
All right.
Bitter already.
Let me touch on something different here. Let me
Please
see.
do.
Let me see. All right. The Book of Eli
Oh,
versus
man, I love that movie.
Oblivion.
Ooh, interesting. I'm going to go Oblivion on that one.
Book of Eli.
And Ben's got 2.
Man, seriously? I thought Tom Cruise plus...
This is actually surprising.
Space.
They both didn't make as much money as I thought they would have. Book of Eli made 94.8, and I got to find Oblivion
I
again.
need to finish Oblivion.
Oblivion-
I'm like 2/3 of the way through it.
I
And then
liked
went
Book
to
of
sleep.
Eli way better.
89.1.
Wow, okay.
Ooh.
So it was close. All right.
All
close.
right.
Book of Eli was really cool.
Yeah.
You've seen that one, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I have, yeah.
Oh, don't
Not
spoil
like
it.
Venus
Oh, it
and
was a great movie.
Denzel Washington.
All
is-
right.
So good.
Yeah. Good movie. I didn't like it that much the first time, but
I'm
then
losing terribly. For those of you who aren't keeping score.
yeah. Okay.
What about for those who are keeping score?
Well, then they would already know.
Or are you just losing moderately? for them?
FYI. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually winning for them.
Two kind of oddities. I like one, haven't seen the other. Children of Men
Ooh.
I did like that movie.
versus
I actually thought it was really
Cloud
boring.
Atlas.
Oh my gosh. Both so boring. Oh man.
Children
I
of Men is
I
awesome.
dislike
That's
these
like
movies.
Half-Life 2 the movie.
Oh man.
Children of
That's
Men
what
is
I didn't like
awesome.
Children of Men at all. But I dislike Cloud Atlas even more.
I have yet to see Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas was the first movie I ever fell asleep in at the movie theater.
Oh man, I don't even know what it's.
I'm
which
gonna
one
go-
made more?
I'm gonna go Cloud Atlas on this one.
I'd say Children of Men made more because I've seen it and I like it.
You're getting your butt kicked.
Come on, seriously?
Children of Men.
Stupid Children of Men?
They
Clive
both
Owen.
made minimal money.
I guess Michael Caine
Juliet.
was in it. You never guess against Michael
I
Caine.
mean,
Julianne Moore.
Children of Men only
on.
made about half their production budget
Oh,
back.
bummer. I'm not surprised.
Well,
though.
how much did Cloud Atlas
35.5. Cloud Atlas made 27.1.
Total?
I want to see what their
Oh,
budget was
man.
because
yes, please.
I want to see it. I have it. I got.
oh, their production budget is not available.
Oh,
Blah, blah,
that's
blah.
because they're really embarrassed. You have
Yeah.
Cloud Atlas?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. I thought it, I'm sure it would be better the second time I see it, but man, that was such a boring, confusing movie. Man, so disappointed
All
by that.
right.
I'm 4-0, right?
Yeah.
3-0.
I don't know.
For
Something.
those of you
You're-
keeping score, I'm
you're
still losing.
terrible.
Does it matter at this point? 3-0. Let's just say 3-0.
It's 3-0.
Okay. I
Look
gotta
back
get.
and actually
I gotta
won.
find ones that are kind of close to each other here. In
Semi-close.
okay. All right. Two similar movies in concept, I guess.
Oh my.
Go
A little
on.
bit at least.
His eyes lit up when he said
Looper
Okay.
versus Deja Vu.
All right.
that. Interesting.
I'm gonna let Ben take the lead on this one.
Oh man.
No, that was one
I
as
need to get a
close as
point
I
here.
thought.
That one's tricky. I saw them both. There was quite a bit of buzz around Looper, and not at least maybe from the people I talked to. And I wasn't really around for Deja Vu, so I couldn't say. I'm gonna go with my gut and say Deja Vu, even though I think
Man.
it's secretly Looper.
I'm gonna go Looper. Come on, please. Please.
Zach has to go and look.
please.
It's Looper
Yes.
Okay.
I got a point.
by about 2 million.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Deja Vu as well. Oh man.
So yeah, both
Denzel Washington
both time
never go
travel
against him,
movies,
except for Book of Eli and Deja Vu. Never mind. Okay.
Because I know there was
me and
Looper. There
Denzel.
was some.
Denzel
Man, I love
apparently isn't this.
Looper.
Did you like The Equalizer? I sort of. I had fun watching it, but I wouldn't see it ever again.
Isn't Chloe Marzat, whatever her name is?
Chloe Moritz. Yeah.
There you
Chloe
go.
Grace Moritz.
Yeah.
Moritz.
I finally
Moritz.
figured out how to say that one girl's name. It's Saoirse Ronan. That's how you say her name. Saoirse. Oh man, it's like Sarosi. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I don't
You
remember.
guys keep
She was
talking
in,
while
she
I
was
look
most
for something
she
here.
was most recently in Brooklyn.
Okay.
You'd
just-
recognize her face if you saw her. I'm trying to think of what else she was in. She's in City of Ember, I think.
Haven't seen that.
Gosh, what else was she in? She's in a bunch of stuff.
You say her name, and I just think of Sasha Cohen Brown.
I know,
Or
right?
Brown or whatever. I can't even say that
Sacha
one.
Baron Cohen.
There you
Sasha
go.
Cohen Browen is what
Sasha
we're
The Coen brothers?
and Brown.
Is he one of the Cohen brothers? Is he
you
the
guys-
third Cohen brother?
Did you guys see the Brothers Grimm?
The fifth? Yes, I loved the Brothers Grimm. That was so much fun.
It does look like a fun
yeah.
movie.
Have you never seen it?
I no.
Oh man,
All
it was
right.
fun. It's got Heath Ledger in it. Yeah, Matt Damon. Yeah, it was a good
You
movie.
can't have. Oh,
Wasn't it Matt Damon?
I'm
Brothers Grimm. Oh,
sorry.
Grimsby. You're thinking Grimsby.
Yeah, I'm thinking
okay.
Grimsby. My bad,
No,
yeah.
I've seen the Brothers
All right.
Grimm. That was fun.
All right.
Have you seen the Brothers Grimm?
No, I haven't
Oh
seen
man,
either.
No,
dude,
that movie's
come on.
terrible.
No, it was fun.
No, it wasn't.
Oh man,
I get it. Heath Ledger's in it, and we love him.
Okay,
but no, that
it's
movie
pretty crappy
terrible.
because it was an old movie. But I mean, it's
A
better
good
than
movie?
Rain of
I
Fire.
did not finish it.
It's better
so
than Rain of Fire.
Do not bash on Rain of Fire.
I'm not bashing
that
on
the
it.
dragon one with no
yeah,
dragons?
I like them both. I'm not
All right,
bashing on
everybody-
anything.
All right, we got one more.
All right.
We got one more here.
What? That means I can't win. I'm mathematically
We got,
eliminated.
it's 40,
Mathematically
it's 41
eliminated.
minutes,
people.
and we haven't even gotten to our
we
our
just need
big,
me to guess better.
big discussion
Okay.
points here.
Saving Private Ryan
Oh come on.
versus Inglorious Bastards.
Well, I know what
Inglourious
I know what
Bastards.
this should be.
Saving Private Ryan.
I've got to go Saving Private Ryan as well. Come on.
Yeah, it is
Okay, good.
by a good amount.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Saving Private Ryan.
I like Tarantino and Inglourious
Yeah.
Bastards was
Next
fun.
time, do not guess based off of what Ben's guessing, and just go with what you think.
I'm sorry. I went
So-
with Denzel and I went with Tom Cruise.
Do
Those are
we-
good guesses.
Do we both get points for that?
No, yeah. But
Yeah.
Or
but you
tied?
still won what 4-2?
Yes.
Yeah, we're done.
That's not as far away as I thought you would have
You
been.
need to go back to doing.
I just
Doubling
need
your
to do
score?
better at winning games.
Explain a film plot better.
Man,
We need
I
to-
I'm
like
still
that.
bitter about that.
I like that. That's fun.
all
game.
right.
Revenge of the Sith was a very decent guess.
How did we end up at this?
We just have lots to talk about, man. It's good.
We're so long-winded.
Yeah, we are.
Someone's gotta be.
Main topic.
Main topic
Yeah.
is Civil War.
Or is it?
We should just do a Civil War recap some other time.
Hey, you guys like Civil War? Yeah, it was pretty
Civil
good.
War was great, man.
Okay, what
I-
was
I
your?
liked it.
Let's just do quick. What was your
Oh.
favorite part about Civil
Favorite
War?
part of Civil War? Oh man, come on. Why you gotta be like
I
that?
think seeing Spider-Man was fun.
Spider-Man
I
was.
don't know if it
super
was
fun.
my
Oh.
and Black Panther.
Black Panther.
I thought he did a really good job.
Black Panther taking
T'Challa.
on Bucky in street clothes. He had like dress shoes on, and he kicked him off the stairs. Man, Black Panther was so awesome.
Yeah.
he
Got to
did a
be
good
the
job.
best character. Spider-Man was awesome for sure.
It was
Close
fun to
second.
see.
I
It was
love-
Close second.
Love Spider-Man. I thought they. Yeah, I
The
thought.
Walker takedown. Oh yeah,
I'm so.
that was good.
I'm just getting sick of everybody going, no, not him, not him, and then the movie comes out. I'm
He was-
like,
he was good.
Oh,
He was good.
like casting directors know what they're doing some of the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
He-
interesting.
he
This
did
is
a
their
good job.
job.
He did a good job as Spider-Man.
No.
And Peter Parker.
Like I said, I keep saying like. For some reason, it makes me laugh every time when they're sitting in the car and Bucky's in the back seat and they're in the little Beetle and he says to Falcon, he's like, "Can you move
your seat up a little bit?"
No.
Oh.
And it's just the facial expression on both of them. Like,
Yeah.
Sam is just not having any
Yep.
of it,
I
and
didn't-
Bucky's just
and
like,
then Cap makes out with Agent 13, and they're both like,
yeah. Their chemistry was great.
That was pretty good.
Just great.
I hate you.
and then later, I hate you. After the Spider-Man battle with those two was
that was
awesome. You have a
awesome.
metal arm, and just. I don't know if you've been in a fight before, but there's usually not this much talking. Like that.
You guys
was,
remember that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back? How
Yeah.
old is this kid? I didn't carbon date him. He's on the younger side.
He's on the young side. Yeah,
I
it
must
was-
say, visually, the most impactful scene for me was when Rhodey got hit and was falling, and they were kind of swooping in from both sides, and then he just hit.
Yep.
I was like, holy crap, that was an emotional scene for me.
And then
Tearing up right there.
Tony blasts Falcon.
That was kind of funny, but I was
You're like,
I was kind of pissed for him at that point. I'd be like,
Yeah.
shut up, man.
do
Don't talk to me
do
right now.
not talk to
My
me right
brain
now.
might be dead. Get out of here.
Okay, so Civil War was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Go see it.
Go see it. We already saw it twice. Well, Ben saw it once. Zach and I saw it
I'm gonna
twice.
see it twice.
Oh,
All right.
for sure.
So, final topic, which we'll probably spend not a horribly amount of
I
time
have so much
on.
to talk about. That's okay.
Oh my god!
That's okay.
man.
Where's Marvel going now? Like, what's Phase 4 and Phase 5 look like, Mike?
So we're talking about past Infinity.
Well, I mean, just
Well, I think we need to talk about the implication of Infinity to get to past Infinity.
go
So,
for it.
If I
thanks
remember
for having
correctly,
that.
if I remember correctly, isn't Inhumans still scheduled after Infinity War? Okay.
Infinity.
I
War
thought
2.
It's like
put
on the bubble
Inhumans
though.
on
Yeah.
ice.
They might. I think it's
I-
close.
I have heard nothing recently that.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they were saying that they might like bump it back a little bit.
I've heard even bits and pieces that like we might just scrap this. Nobody knows who the
Yeah.
Inhumans are, and that's my biggest thing talking about this. And I'll just start really quickly, and I'll let you guys run with it. Is okay. So I didn't know who Guardians of the Galaxy were.
Exactly.
And that
It's true.
And that's awesome.
There
but,
you go.
That's point
But
numbers
I
1,
feel
2, and
like
3.
I feel like
Exactly.
I'm ruining my point. I've already ruined my entire point because I was gonna say you've run out
Go
of
on.
characters people know, and then I was like, wait, I
Inhumans.
love Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like it's my top 2 or 3 Marvel movies. So I was gonna say it's kind of lucky for Marvel that they got Spider-Man back at this point because you have an anchor character then that is starting at the end of Phase 3.
Yeah.
That's true. Kind of like Iron Man was.
But
That sort
at
of
the same
holds
time,
things
they
together.
have plenty of characters that are just starting or are going to start soon.
Yeah,
I mean, they haven't even. I mean, they had Wasp technically in the last Ant-Man movie, but even Ant-Man's only had one movie, and Wasp is going to get in her suit. I'm assuming this Ant-Man and Wasp movie.
did
About
you-
damn time.
Did you not see the end credit scene?
Well, no, she didn't get it in the suit.
It's called
She
Ant-Man and
will.
Wasp, so she
will get
she's
in the
gonna,
suit.
She's gonna get in that suit.
Yeah. Yeah, she will. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have Captain Marvel coming up, and
It's just, I completely ruined my point
No, it's
because Disney will run superheroes and Star Wars into the ground, and I just am trying to project when that's going to happen. Is that going to be 10 years from now, or is it going to be 20, or is it going to be 40 years from now?
Yep.
Because I honestly believe they will continue making these movies until they are no longer profitable.
Yep.
Which means anywhere from breaking even to about 20% over what the budget was.
I hope they're smart about it and take a break for a couple years and then sort of come back strong. Because I think that's how they could prolong it. Because they're doing like every 2 movies for, the next 50 years. I'm like, of course you're gonna.
well, they're killing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're succeeding left and right.
Yeah, I mean they're great movies.
Oh yeah.
And
They're
I think
great
like Black
movies.
Panther will do well, and like I said, I completely screwed myself here with the Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
take because very few people knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, but it was a great movie nonetheless. So if you can continue to do that, continue to make unknown characters
Yeah.
into box office draws from one side or another, they'll be able to go for a long time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, yeah. I mean, go for it. Go for
Oh
it.
yeah, I was gonna say it's for your point with the Inhumans. Like, from my understanding, Inhumans are kind of essentially like mutants. Now there may be like a team of Inhumans that's like a core team.
There's
that they
a
can-
ruling family of the Inhumans. Yeah.
Right. So if they follow those guys, I think it could be successful. But yeah, I can see you being less excited about Inhumans, or then being more hesitant. It's like, oh, we've already got mutants, even though Fox owns that. Like, Inhumans are just a whole nother cast of people.
Right.
Whereas Guardians, yes, not as many people have heard about them, but there's like 5 core people. You can work with that. So
Yeah.
I am indifferent about it in Inhumans movie.
Yeah.
I
So
don't care.
it just depends. I mean, I want to just talk about Infinity War and what that'll implicate, basically. So the comic book run of the Infinity Gauntlet story, which is I'm assuming what they're going to follow at least sort of closely.
Loosely.
Yeah. So basically, the whole premise is that Thanos, the big baddie, played by Josh Brolin, who I must remember is Josh Brolin's already cast. I keep on forgetting he's in the stupid Marvel universe already. It's awesome. But he's basically trying to impress his girlfriend, who is the embodiment of death. And he's basically saying,
that's a
if
story.
I kill a bunch of people, that's like a sacrifice to you, and I impress you.
They're going to bring that up.
Well, I mean, that's his whole thing. I mean, that's
but how
his
they
MO.
have never followed any storyline closely. I mean,
Roughly, though.
The Civil War storyline isn't even close.
Okay. Well, let me just tell you what they would have to do to get to that Infinity Gauntlet story. First of all, they have to establish, obviously, the character of death, or the embodiment of death, which is super weird because they have to make that transition from what seems to be fairly normalized right now into, hey, not only do we have like the magic realm with Doctor Strange, but we also have like the cosmic realm. I mean, they're kind of getting into that with Guardians of the Galaxy.
And
but
Doctor Strange.
Basically, what they're doing is they're fighting Thanos up on an asteroid for a large majority of the Infinity Gauntlet story. And also, the fact that Thanos actually attacks Earth in the first place is because the Avengers are off fighting some cosmic battle with these people called the Builders. So basically what they need to do is they establish more of Thanos' character. They need to establish the character of Adam Warlock, which we saw his cocoon in Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's been debated more now that was actually
Well, that
his.
was a cocoon, and it looked a lot like Adam Warlock's, and he's the central character to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. So if they're at all getting towards that, then yeah, they have to establish his character. But I'm just saying, that could be an extra character that they could flesh out and make into an actual star. Also, Namor the Submariner is another character that they actually have the rights to, but they wouldn't, who's also part of the Illuminati who play a big role in that movie. Obviously, Reed Richards, Beast, and a couple other characters they don't have the rights to, including Doctor Doom. So, obviously they wouldn't be able to get those unless they made some deal with Fox about the Fantastic Four, which then they would get the Silver Surfer, who's also super important to the Infinity Gauntlet movie. So that would be amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's a huge movie story, and it also fleshes out Nebula. So that's what's her face from Doctor Who, the blue skin girl. She's also a huge part of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. So I'm just saying that not only the Inhumans, but also these other characters who are actually big characters in the comic books, and then you throw in Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, and a couple other smaller role people who we haven't actually seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe yet. They're all have the possibility of being introduced within the next couple movies here. So I think that might give you a good basis for a phase 5 right there, maybe, or phase 4. I mean, you could even just talk about Namor the Submariner. He's not my favorite character in the Marvel universe, but he is a big villain / hero. And, depending on how well DC does with Aquaman, that might be a huge world to explore with Namor the Submariner and have like an underwater superhero movie. I think that would be really cool if they could do that right. So, there's a couple different options that we can explore here, or even just go out into space and have Avengers be in space. So,
I just don't think they're going to add that many more people to this. And the reason I say that is because I'm not super familiar with the Infinity Gauntlet storyline.
Yeah.
I am very familiar with the Civil War storyline. And almost every character you named now
That's true.
was in the Civil War storyline. Namor was a very large part of Civil War. So was the Punisher. So was Daredevil. So was
I guess Doctor Strange just bowed out and said he wasn't going to take part of it.
Doctor Strange was actually a big part of it as well.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, he wasn't a big part in regards to the actual battling. His storyline had lots of
implications and whatnot.
implications. Thank you. So I think if they were going to build into that, you would have started a few more people,
That's fair.
here, and built into. I do think it's smart of them to go Doctor Strange first, because that establishes more of that magical realm right off the before you get into Thanos and everything like that. Although for people that would have bothered, I would have been like, Thor, Thor from another dimension.
Thor,
Yeah.
Thor 2.
A god, and Loki.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they've already
that
dabbled in
doesn't
that.
bother me that much. But there's a point in time though where you can't put that much money into a movie, even though you'll probably get the return on it. I mean, how much would it cost if you cast even a mid-range, what most people would consider like a B-rate actor as all these different characters and fleshed them out?
Yeah.
Just bringing all these characters that they've already developed into one movie, because I'm assuming they're bringing back Hulk, I'm assuming they're bringing back Thor, Black
plays a big
Panther,
role too,
Spider-Man, and then all the Guardians of the Galaxy are probably going to show up in this movie. I mean, that's you got a lot of, Doctor Strange is going to be in it too. That's a lot of characters to keep track of.
Oh yeah.
And if you throw in other characters that have no backstory into that as well, you can't put a lot of time into them.
Yeah.
So
I think what could happen to prolong this is Infinity Wars. When it ends, it could be sort of the end of sort of the big name heroes of stories.
I think it will be.
And then these smaller characters now, you see them get their movie 1, their movie 2, then they get their ensemble movie.
Right.
Then you get their movie 1, their movie 2.
Well, and that is the other the other thing they
I
could
definitely
do.
think that's where
you
they
can't
go.
just keep
Well,
giving
and
screen time to Captain America.
Also, that brings up a new topic. Like, number one, we've been building to Thanos as the bad guy this entire time. Like with Loki
Like, once he's
and with
defeated,
Ronan the Accuser and a couple other people who have been all minions of Thanos. So I feel like to make this impactful and to take away their nobody dies in a Marvel movie type thing that they have going right now, have some main characters die. That would make a ton of sense. Now, a lot of them do have contracts up until Infinity War, so it would make sense to have that be the ending point for a lot of them. And let's take a look at, you have Jane Foster, who's right now, she's Natalie Portman's character, but I don't think Natalie Portman will want to come back. She's got kind of a bit
I don't
role.
think we'll see her or Pepper Potts again.
But Jane Foster becomes Thor in the comic books. Like, she takes up the hammer after Thor has become unworthy, and she becomes Thor. So you could do that. You could also have either Falcon or Bucky take the mantle of Captain America from Steve Rogers, who becomes the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. So there's a couple different ways that you can even introduce new characters without introducing new superheroes necessarily.
Yeah.
Sort of rebooting.
Or you could play off of what's popular in Marvel right now. I don't think they have the rights to it, but Spider-Gwen is huge among girls. So Gwen Stacy becomes a Spider-Woman in an alternate universe. You could have her, but yeah, again, I don't think they have the rights to that. Or you could do like Miss Marvel, or any number of characters that are really popular right now, or even like an A-Force or something like that. We haven't even touched on the Nova Corps yet, so Nova could be in there. There's a couple different characters that you could throw in. Yeah,
there's a lot, and I completely agree with you, Ben. I think after Infinity War, I said it for the first time, Robert Downey Jr. is starting to look old.
Oh yeah,
like I think Chris Evans could still do this for a while, but I think he would be better served to do it as like a head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
almost like
a
that would be really cool.
Like a Nick Fury kind of show up every once in a while and help out type of a situation. I think that would work. The thing is I think Chris Evans has been pretty vocal about he's willing to do this for a while. That's what I've heard, at least.
I think I've heard that he's going to be like done with acting after he's done with Marvel.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
But yeah, I definitely think you do. I think Guardians has a little bit more of a run in them.
Yeah.
I think they probably do.
Yeah.
They do a volume 3.
Tom
of
Holland
Guardians.
obviously has a lot of gas in the tank.
Yeah, Tom. They're
Nowhere
gonna,
to go from here. He's
they're gonna
peaked.
Paul Rudd's character, he's
They're
not
gonna
super
do-
young, but still.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't know if they do another Ant-Man after Ant-Man and the Wasp. They could.
Well, Cumberbatch is really popular as well, so I don't know how much they're going to be able to hold on to Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
They might just bring him in for the big ones. I
They'll
don't
probably
know.
do
Yeah.
at least 2 Black
It's tough.
Panther movies.
Oh yeah. Yes, please. Please.
Yeah, they'll definitely do some Spider-Man. It's just it's more interesting of like who do they kind of bring up, because I think they've talked about doing an Iron Man 4. I just don't know. I don't.
It had
honestly,
seemed like
I don't
Civil
care.
War Part 2.
Well,
They
I
did
mean,
Iron Man 4.
I think
That's
they
how
could,
I see it.
I think they could have like you said, like a Steve Rogers kind of transition to that S.H.I.E.L.D. role, and he could come back if he wants to. Otherwise, he doesn't have to. You could kill off Nick Fury and have him, take his place. You could have Hawkeye be able to retire. Robert
Yeah, I
Downey
think-
Jr., he'd be a great hero if he died, but you don't necessarily have to kill
And I
him
don't
off.
know how much
Yeah.
Scarlett wants to be doing this for.
Well, yeah, I
much
mean, those are the
longer.
ones. Scarlett's been in a ton of movies.
she's-
She's been in probably the most.
Probably. Actually.
Her Robert Downey Jr., I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So there's at least, and that's the thing is that I know for sure that they're going to make a crap ton of money and keep the audience's interest through Infinity War. But then beyond that, depending on what they do, I don't know how impressive that's going to be. That might be
Are
as
the
far
Russo brothers doing Infinity?
as yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes,
good.
they are.
Yeah.
Thank the
'Cause
Lord.
They've done so
Nailed
well.
it. Hashtag nailed it.
I'm confident though when you can take someone like Guardians of the Galaxy that again a lot of
Yeah,
people don't
it's
know
true.
and then make it like one of the best Marvel movies.
Yeah.
They've got there's years and years and years of comics with tons of interesting characters.
So many. Yep.
There's plenty of people to pull from.
It's true.
And you can just make someone interesting. You put them in a cameo in one movie before that, see if people like it, hype them up, boom.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
Keep
it's harder
doing
than that.
keep
but
doing your post trailer things like that
Yeah.
and get people excited for it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is that they're running out of steam though. Like they're running out of room to be able to introduce new characters while the old guard is still here.
Right.
So obviously,
You
yeah,
have to do
they
that. You
they
have to do that
But
reset
then at the same time,
refresh.
I
or
mean,
reboot.
it's not the Infinity Gauntlet story, but it's the Infinity storyline. Is that they have the Inhumans? Basically, what happens is that they have a fight between Thanos and Black Bolt, who's the leader of the Inhumans, and something called the Terrigen bomb goes off, and a bunch of people get superpowers who didn't have superpowers
Oh, yeah,
before.
pretty much
So
the
you could
mutant
even do
outbreak.
that and just be like, random people now have superpowers, and I don't know how much that would draw the audience in. But if you do it right, I mean, that could be a Miss Marvel or something like that right there. And that would be an easy way to start them on their superhero journey without much explanation or backstory. So
Yeah.
Right.
there's options.
Oh yeah.
cool.
It just depends.
Kill.
They have to keep the audiences. I mean, they've killed it so far. They just need to keep killing it, and people will
The
keep
thing-
coming.
My problem with almost all the Marvel movies, I shouldn't say almost all, over half of them do not have a lot of staying power, in my opinion. I'm not really impressed by original Iron Man, still pretty good. 2 and 3, no. Neither of the Thor movies, in my opinion, are very good. Neither of the... Well, it's technically only one Hulk movie in that same MCU.
right.
I don't like the Hulk movie.
Blah. I didn't like the first Captain America. People have disagreed
come on,
with me
Meow.
on that. I thought it was boring.
That's a
for
great
the
period
most-
piece.
Quit saying that.
It was a period
They
piece.
finally got to the fighting, and then they quick shot through it. It's just like you make me wait an hour and like 15 minutes
That's what
for
I thought.
any fighting.
saved the Howling Commandos.
There's more action in there than you think. Rewatch
Yeah.
it because I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
and I
rewatch
rewatched
it,
it. I'm
Jack.
like, whoa, there's a lot more action in this. than I thought.
Rewatch it right now.
No, I'm
Right.
not going to.
Meow.
Anyways, so I like a lot of the movies I just feel like don't have that holding power to keep me interested.
They're
in
still
the
up on
long
my
run.
shelf.
I have
So-
to disagree with you on that. Minus Iron Man 2, I'm like whatever. But all those other ones I have rewatched recently, and more often than not, they were more enjoyable than I remember them
Yep.
being.
Yeah, it might just be me because I haven't.
You're jaded.
There are very few superhero movies that I think, on multiple watches, are still like overall good movies. It's like they're fun, and then you're like, well, I feel like I just didn't really grasp like a lot of the inadequacies in them the first few watches because they were so hyped up and everything like that. I'm not saying they're bad movies. I'm just saying I just don't feel like they have as much staying power. That being said, I still love Guardians. I still like Ant-Man.
It's a great movie.
Winter Soldier
Yep.
is very good.
Great movie.
Oh yeah.
Overall, just a very well
Oh
done
my.
movie. So
Yep.
so we'll see what happens. Maybe that's just me. I feel like I'm being controversial
Well,
today.
I just think that you'll look
little
back once Tony Stark dies or whoever and just like go back and see the journey that he took over these different movies. And that's the thing with the MCU is that to me, like it's an entire experience. And that's the fun of
Yes.
it is that you could go through and watch Iron Man through Civil War and have a great time and see all the connective tissue and pick up on things you didn't pick up on before.
Yeah.
You know, like the first time we saw Loki's staff or something like that, it's just like, oh, that's interesting. It's like, well, yeah,
Whoa.
now I know what that is. That's one of the Infinity Stones that Thanos punched through Vision or whatever. You know, it's just like, You can, yeah. Well,
Oh, that'll definitely be interesting. I wonder if that was always the plan or if that developed later on, like after the first Iron Man.
I hope that it was the plan overall. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been. It's just interesting.
Well
but it's just like
executed.
the first handful of movies in the MCU did not deal with that at all.
Well, I mean, they had,
Infinity
Yes.
Wars.
but
Yeah.
then you had the
But
same
even-
kind of thing. Like you had
Even the first Captain did, I guess.
what's Vision's
Yeah.
Paul Bettany. Like he's been Jarvis the entire time up through now. I
Mhm.
don't know if they planned on that, but Paul Bettany's an
Just
awesome actor.
interesting.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, Thanos punches Vision so hard that he pulls out his circuits, like he's pulling out his
His
guts, and he dies. It's awesome.
Bummer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, I was gonna say something else, but I'm just gonna stop talking.
Cool.
Oh,
You want to take some?
he's-
you
no,
want to
he's-
take some shots?
He's done
Or-
talking.
Or should we,
forgot we had-
talk about what we're watching right now?
Oh, what do you guys?
Or
wanna
should we
do?
just stop?
we can
I
tell
just,
us what we're
just
watching.
Quickly, just no. We're just gonna do real quickly. Least favorite or biggest disappointment in a superhero movie?
Fan four stick. I mean, even just like, let's be honest, even just with the Infinity Gauntlet storyline and having Doctor Doom in a lot of things, I was really looking forward to them making good characters about Mr. Fantastic or the Thing or all those characters attached to, I mean, even Silver Surfer making a reappearance or Colossus, because they technically have the rights to not Colossus. Sorry, what am I saying? What's his face? The big guy with the weird mask. Come on.
Galactus.
Juggernaut?
Galactus. That's what I was thinking of. Not
Juggernaut.
Not Colossus. Galactus.
Big guy with the
The other guy
mask.
with the U.S. at the end of his name.
Destroyer of Worlds.
Galactus is a great destroyer of worlds.
Nom, nom, nom.
The best destroyer of worlds. And they could have made awesome storylines out of that. And Fox could have done it right. And they didn't. They crapped the bed once again. So, I mean, it's just...
Gross. I don't want to be in that bed.
I'm just saying that, you know, you reboot it and you want to keep the rights in your studio.
With some good young
I was-
actors,
Yeah,
by the way.
exactly. Michael B. Jordan's the best. Also, Miles Teller's pretty good. I don't really care about Kate Mara. And Jamie Bell is meh. So, but still. Yeah. Who's Toby
That is
Kebbell?
not the order I would have gone in, but that's
2
okay.
out of 4,
Seriously,
whatever.
guys. Who is Toby Kebbell?
I like Miles Teller.
Yeah, Miles Teller's fine. I like Michael B. Jordan the best. So, anyways, but they had such an opportunity, and they really just blew it.
Messed
Plus,
up.
Josh Trank. I like Josh Trank, and now I'm not sure. So they just disappointed me on. They disappointed me on so many levels, and the movie wasn't even that much fun to watch. So
That's a bummer.
done.
For me, it's them messing up Deadpool in Wolverine Origins.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so it wasn't
a great
like
one.
the whole movie was.
You
wasn't
started with
terrible.
messing up Deadpool,
like,
and I
wait,
was
no.
like, destroyed
watch
for a
your
second.
mouth.
I just rewatched Deadpool last night. Amazing movie. I bought it day one.
Now on DVD
Yeah,
and video.
I'm gonna get it
Yeah.
next week sometime.
If you can handle Deadpool Blu-ray, talk to your doctor, whatever that commercial is. It's hilarious. Anyway, yeah, and what's a bummer, not only did they mess up his role so badly when he was Deadpool, they surprisingly got it right when he was just Wade Wilson. That
Yep.
beginning scene
It's
where
true.
he
It's
comes
so
in,
true.
he's,
He's sarcastic
he's-
and witty and
yeah,
doesn't take people's crap.
cracking
Yeah.
wise, he's got the red suit on, or cut off sleeves. Like,
And then
oh,
he
don't
had
you ever
arm
shut up?
blades.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, this is great. I want to
Teleportation.
see more of this character. And then they just completely yapped them up.
Just-
He's like, oh, no one cares about Deadpool. Let's make him crap pool.
Yeah.
And
Fox
so-
again, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Then
that
they
was
gave him laser eyes.
yeah, laser eyes he
And
shut his mouth.
teleportation. And now he doesn't talk anymore because nobody liked him earlier when he was being mouthy and
Well,
hilarious.
I get why they sort his mouth shut. 'Cause, ha ha, jokes on you, but no, jokes on you, Fox. You missed. You could have made all that Deadpool money.
you blew it.
You could have made all that Deadpool money years ago.
They actually did a good job with him, like you said at the beginning.
Yeah,
I like
he-
this
I'm like,
character.
oh, I'm like, great, sweet
yeah.
Deadpool.
Wade Wilson's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, they more than made up for it, and by them I mean not Fox and just Ryan Reynolds and Tim Miller
Yeah.
and the other guys.
Fox got lucky.
So I went on about this a little bit earlier, but biggest disappointment is Batman versus Superman, just because there was so much hype. Now, that being said, there's at least 2 Batman movies that are worse than Batman versus Superman,
At
but I'm
least.
just talking about a disappointment factor
Metal
of
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
just yes.
am I, guys?
I was like, what are you doing over there?
Batman.
Who am I?
Freaking Schumacher.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, man. Why is everything neon, man? Come on.
He's going for like a gothic something
Since
approach.
when it,
Rave.
you know,
Rave approach, obviously.
even the chain that guy was swinging around was like neon green. Like, did you
Bane's
buy it that way?
And then,
Or
and then
did you-
Bane.
Did you paint it after? What? Okay. Anyways, just
Iceman.
But BVS being disappointing.
yeah, BVS was just super disappointing. I will
Super
say,
disappointing.
after watching some of the older Batmans, I don't like Christian Bale's Batman that much.
Wow.
Take that back.
That's
You take that back right
Take it back right now.
The Dark Knight is still one of the best movies that's ever been made.
Swear
but
to me.
Christian Bale's Batman is not my favorite. I really liked Ben Affleck's Batman. I will say that. He did a really good job. I thought he was a good mixture of arrogant, but also not just an over-the-top douchebag, like kind of Christian Bale was at times in in the Dark Knight series. But how they made two of the best superheroes ever, both into kind of villain idiots, because both of them made huge erroneous errors.
Erroneous errors. That's a good sentence.
Is that
That's not repetitive at all.
That's not.
Made lots of erroneous error mistakes.
I was
Anyways,
thinking of Rice-A-Roni now.
yeah, that's not repetitive at all. And I just thought the movie was poorly thought out. It was definitely a Batman movie with Superman in it, because they did almost no story building on Superman. He was just menacing. He was like menacing to Batman. And it's just like, he wasn't a stereotypical Superman, which doesn't necessarily bother me. It's just you need to give some sort of background here then, other than Superman going to Batman like, you're a menace to society and what I do, even though my collateral damage literally killed half of the city. But you branding bad guys, that can't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Like, Batman's motivation to me was legit. Superman's seemed lacking the entire movie. And just the idea that Superman couldn't do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted really bugged me. And just Lex Luthor was not a strong, intelligent character. He was an insane character.
Yeah.
And stop trying to beat yourself, essentially, with Heath Ledger's Joker.
But he shaved his head at the end, so he's going to be tough.
Yeah, so...
Maybe. I do want to give props to the Lex Luthor, LexCorp design team, because those logos for all the, like, the Flash and Cyborg and Wonder Woman,
That's true.
like, those are spot on.
They did such a good
Those
job.
were spot
Yeah,
on.
like, those logos, like,
Like,
they'll-
if they ever become superheroes, they should take
Wonder Woman was
those.
like, hey, guys, I got design ideas. Like,
Seriously.
they already crushed it.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, just,
They even gave them
Wow.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
These
they
guys,
better
these
stick
guys-
to that.
they had
with their
way
suits.
too much
And-
time on their times.
and
They could have just wrote Wonder Woman on
I'm
the folder.
willing to
but-
bet that those characters will see that folder at one point in time and go, you know what? That's going to be my symbol now.
Yep.
I'm going to
Yeah,
use that.
It's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And if some
That's
other
not crazy
characters
at
like
all.
Green Lantern or something like that come in, man, they should make their symbols too. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Keep
Great
tabs on
designers
everybody.
at LexCorp.
yeah.
Anyway.
So, there's definitely worse movies. I could even... Both the original Fantastic Four, I would say, are worse than Batman versus Superman as well.
Oh
but,
yes, of
but,
course.
But there was just so
Do you want
much
to be on
hype.
fire your rest of your life? Is that a trick question?
Oh, Chris Evans.
But everywhere.
Yeah, so definitely worse movies,
mean
but
everywhere.
this was the
Green
biggest
Lantern.
hyped movie
Green Lantern.
yeah. It was had.
It was the
ridiculous.
biggest.
Yeah,
hype
that's why I
movie.
try not to let hype like get to me or like participate in it.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed. I mean, Batman vs Superman had a ton of issues, but I saw it twice and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
It's
enjoyed
got
it the one
crap.
time I
It's
saw
got
it,
a
yeah.
lot wrong with it.
That's
Yeah,
the
a
thing.
lot.
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. It's just
Yeah.
it could have been. I'm just going by.
yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah.
could have been.
That's the thing, yeah.
So much better.
Technically, we can all see the flaws in it, but
Oh yeah.
I also enjoyed it. Yeah, just fine. So
All right, let's wrap up. We've been here too long.
that sounds good.
Mike, I want you to talk
you
about what
you
you're
know
watching.
what I'm watching right now. Is that the biggest thing
The
that I'm
viewers
watching
don't.
right now is Rick and Morty. Have you ever
Yes.
seen Rick and Morty, Ben?
I've seen one episode.
Oh my goodness!
Rick, we gotta. Rick.
Sounds like a Family Guy episode.
Rick. Oh, Rick.
But yeah, I mean, Rick and Morty, I can't say enough about this show. Zach's been talking it up for a long time, so props to him for being the hipster in the situation. But he said for a long time now that it's such a good show, and it really is. I mean, I have not come across an episode that I've seen. I've probably seen 10, 12 episodes now out of the 2 seasons that they have out. And each of them is a really quality television show in itself. And it's sci-fi. It's a little bit of horror. They're very intelligent, very funny shows. But I mean, it's more than just a funny little cartoon. It is very intelligent talk about time travel and different dimensions and the implications of messing around with the space-time continuum and all these things. It's such a good show. I really like it. Plus, it's super funny in parts and just random.
Yeah.
But it can be. So and there's infinite possibilities with it because there are an infinite number of realities that are going on at the exact same time. Some of them that you can see at the exact same time, happening at the exact same time. It's just such a smart show, and I really, really enjoy it. So I'm gonna watch those as soon as I can. Go see it.
Nice.
Go see it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I've seen one episode and I enjoyed it. I hear nothing but good things about that show.
Well,
Weird.
It's better.
It's a
It's
little
weird.
raunchy,
A
and
little
it's a
raunchy.
little,
Not for
little
kids.
weird.
Not for kids.
But man, is it funny and well written.
It's basically Back to the Future if it was a cartoon and a little bit raunchier.
There you go. Back to the Future.
And they actually did something with their science.
I've been watching more movies and shows. Like rewatch Pitch Perfect 1 and 2 because you
Nice.
just got to do
You make
that.
good
choice.
choices.
Thank you. But as far as shows, Parks and Rec. That was my knee you were touching.
Yes.
I didn't tell you to stop. But Parks
Stop touching his knee, Zach.
Parks and Rec is a good show, and Flash and Arrow, but it's been a while since I've seen the latest ones. But Parks and Rec is funny, and it's my first time going through it.
Oh,
nice.
man.
Nice.
Parks and Rec.
Ron Swanson's just
I will
a great
say,
character.
Ron Swanson may be the best character that's ever been on television, to be honest.
I fear what you heard me say was, bring me lots of bacon and eggs.
What I meant was,
bring me all the bacon and eggs you have. just the seriousness in his voice and tone. It's funny because I'm
is
actually
great.
watching both of those shows right now. I'm rewatching Rick and Morty with Mike.
Wow.
And watching Mike enjoy Rick and Morty, which is fun for me because I have been talking about it for a few months now.
you have mentioned it.
And
while.
I'm actually watching the last 3 seasons of Parks and Rec because I realized even a few weeks ago, it's like, holy crap, I forgot to watch the last season of Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I didn't either, actually.
So I haven't seen season 7, but I was just like, I want to start, I watched season 1 through 4 quite a bit when it was, in its heyday and was coming out on Netflix. I would rewatch it quite a bit. So I was like, I'm going to start at season 5 and go to the end again. Otherwise,
some context.
I'm waiting for a lot of stuff to come out for television shows to watch, waiting for Luke Cage and a few other
yeah.
Netflix originals.
Shout out to Kimmy Schmidt too.
When you get to season 6 of Parks and Rec, let me know because what's his name? What's the
Rob
guy's
Lowe?
name? No, the other
Chris
guy.
Pratt.
The other guy.
Oh,
The other guy. You know who I'm talking about.
from on the street.
Billy
Billy
Eichner.
on the street.
Billy Eichner's character.
Yeah.
Craig Middlebrooks. He is probably my favorite character on Parks and Rec just because of how weird he
He's
is.
so loud and obnoxious.
I mean, Ron Swanson is right there if it wasn't for Craig Middlebrooks.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
Traeger's
I'm
good,
gonna wrap up that. I'm a huge fan of American Dad, and season 10 comes out later this month
my
on
goodness.
Netflix. Love that show. I think it's so much better than anything Seth MacFarlane's done. Honestly, it's so much better than Family Guy in my opinion. But that's just me. A lot of people just.
what about A Million Ways to Die in the West? It's better than that.
What about
that
Ted
was-
and Ted 2?
I've never seen those. I've always wanted to though.
I haven't either.
Yeah. Anyways, I've been trying to get to watching more movies. I need to rewatch the Bourne movies. I think that's a thing that needs
we have
to
decided
happen.
that. Yeah.
I think I've only seen the first one, not in its entirety.
Wow.
Only bits and pieces
Okay.
here, but all
'Cause,
of it.
man,
kind of.
they're all real good.
Matt
what I heard.
Damon
Real
looks
good.
awesome
Yep.
in the new Jason
Number
Bourne
4 is
movie.
coming out.
Jack.
Yeah, he is just when he's
Jacked.
laying on
And
the
when is that?
bed,
July or
his
August?
arms are as big as my head.
I think that's the end
It's
of July.
mid to late July, I
Okay.
wanna say.
So
So,
gotta
yeah.
move.
Excited about that. Probably need to watch Independence Day.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's excited about Resurgence. I'm
No.
excited about Resurgence.
I'm gonna watch it. It'll be fun.
I'll probably
Yeah.
watch it, but I'm indifferent.
I'll go do it on a weekday to Winsong, get $6 tickets.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm rewatching a lot of stuff, waiting for other stuff to come out. But yeah. So anything to wrap up? Otherwise, I'm Zach,
I'm Mike.
I'm still Ben.
and this is Cheap Shot Cinema. We'll see you guys later. Bye.